You are screen recording. Okay. Okay, everyone, welcome to the June meeting of the Missouri Evergreen Catalogers. We'll start with some cataloging committee news. The first news that I have, of course, is that this is my last meeting as chair, and Nate Byrink from Trails will be taking over next month. He's waving at all of you right now. I am so happy to be handing the helm over to Nate. We will have all of the cataloging committee contact information in the notes. You guys can contact any of us that you want to receive some help if you need it. Just again, some announcements. We've got 4 new migrations coming up. James Memorial is on July 29th. Henry County is on August 19th. Cedar County and Rolla Public, their official migration dates have not been announced yet, but both of them will be in, I think Rolla was by the end of September and Cedar County by the end of November. So they're coming right up. So that's exciting. New libraries joining is always good for all of us. We will talk a bit more about that a little later, about what we're doing for these libraries that are coming in. The Missouri Evergreen Personnel Committee is working on the process of getting our full-time Missouri Evergreen cataloger hired. Reminder that we were able to get the funds to pay this position for a full-time year by a grant. ARPA funds are going to pay for this, and the state library is very supportive of us doing this. So we're super excited. And then with the help of the cataloging committee, the hiring process will begin. And I think the board is shooting for September for this person to start. So they will be here from September to September, or maybe October to September, you know, something like that. But again, their focus from the beginning is going to be the cataloger certification for the Missouri Evergreen catalogers. So we're super excited about that they're going to be helping us get all that set up. We will be working closely with them on all of this, but they're going to be a great help to Missouri Evergreen. So I'm super excited. And the International Online Evergreen Conference was a couple weeks ago. It was great, guys. I hope some of you were able to go. If not, though, the videos are already up on their YouTube channel. That will be linked in the notes that will be out by the end of this week, hopefully sooner rather than later. But there was some really good stuff. The Evergreen Conference always has some great cataloging programs, so I wasn't disappointed this year. And any questions about anything before I go on? So some more reminders. The training manual, the Missouri Evergreen training manual, is up on our website. And there are several cataloging tutorials on the Missouri Evergreen YouTube channel. Both of those things, again, will be linked in the meeting notes when they're released. I hope people are finding those helpful. We've had some good response, especially to the tutorials on the YouTube channel. If any of you have any more ideas, something that you would like recorded, a tutorial that you'd like put up on the website or on the YouTube channel so that you can follow along with it, you know, maybe it's going to take you 3 or 4 times to watch it to be able to get the process down pat. And that's exactly what these videos are for. So if there's some process that you're running into that's really troublesome for you, let me know, and we will try to get a tutorial recorded so that you can kind of go at your own pace. So I was talking about these new libraries coming on into Missouri Evergreen. Nate has written a rubric for us to kind of go into their catalogs and search and see what we come up with as far as we're assessing their catalog to see how it will migrate in. And we kind of wanted to go over that with you guys today. So the point is for us to identify things that the their cataloging practices maybe that they had in their previous ILS that would hinder them from coming into Missouri Evergreen well as far as merging with our records. You all have been with us probably when we get a new library in, and it seems like none of their records went on to records that we already had in Missouri Evergreen. So that is exactly what we're trying to prevent. We want as many matching records as possible, so all the same books go onto the same record. That's the goal here. So the process you can see here, we wanted to take a percentage of all of the different areas of the library. So we've got 50% of let's see, the subset of records should be represented with 50% books. So nonfiction and fiction. So we want 50% of the adult books, 50% of the children's books. So what we're doing, yeah, we're grabbing, Nate, you want to?
Yeah, I was going to jump in and say, I think it was those percentages are saying more of the subset of records that we're looking at. We want that to kind of be the makeup of it. Like or maybe I misunderstood what you were saying, but
yeah, we're not looking at 50% of their print titles. I mean, that's
right.
not, we cannot do that. But we are looking at, a good percentage of their different areas so that we can see trends in how they catalog, perhaps. We're looking at their bib records so that we can see if they need to change anything up, or if the subset of records is glaringly missing something or something like that. So they can, somebody, we're having some feedback. Let's see, where was I? So we can have them perhaps fix some of that before they come on, so that they come on and they merge well with us. So we're looking for, this is the rubric that we have here. So we've got kind of 3 tiers, and these are the things that we're looking at when we're looking at these catalog records. And this can kind of maybe even help you guys in kind of determining what's the most important thing to be doing correctly cataloging in Missouri Evergreen. I mean, if you ask me, every little field is important, but not everybody's as crazy as I am. So for the, we're looking at the 007 fields and the fixed fields. So 007, as we all know, especially for AV materials, that is extremely important. That is what drives the icon in Missouri Evergreen. We'll be going into that a little deeper in a little bit. Fixed fields also go along with that. The most prominent example is for large print. So in that form field in the 008, that's a D there, and that again drives the icon in Missouri Evergreen. So if these things are incorrectly cataloged on their end when they come in, that could pose a problem as far as it recognizing that it's the same item to be merged onto our items. The 020 field, of course, the most important field in a bib record, I think, is the ISBN. Just a reminder, in Missouri Evergreen, we are able to have more than one set of ISBNs in a bib record now, as long as the material itself is nearly identical. We're talking about the contents of the item here. So we are putting trade paperback and hardback together on one bib record with separate 020s, as long as the page numbers and the, of course, title, author, and all that stuff is nearly identical. The 100 field, of course, we're talking about our authors here. If an incoming library isn't using 100s, perhaps they're only using the 245C field. That's a red flag for us. That's something that we would look at, and we would want them, perhaps to fix their 100 fields. The 245, that's the dinger here. We need a title and a title proper. The A field is the most important field in the 245. And along with the 300, which is a physical description, these are things that Equinox is looking at to match up the incoming library's material with the material we already have in Missouri Evergreen. So if the 300 field says, that this book has 300 pages, when in reality it has 436, it could potentially say, no, we're not going to merge this onto a Missouri Evergreen record and put it on its own record. And then we all know that the duplication in our catalog would then be raised, which we're trying to really get that down. Something that we have seen a lot is the 490 series field. Cataloging practice in days gone by, you were able to use a 490 0, and and now you have to use the 490 and then the corresponding 800 fields. So we want to be sure that that's just another spot that they can check to help match another match point. And then 650s, of course, we want subject headings and we want genre headings. I mean, that's what help our patrons discover our items. So these are the things that we're really looking at when we're assessing these libraries catalogs. And we have officially done 2 assessments, and we're working with our first library right now between the cataloging committee and the migrating library and Equinox. We're trying to come up with a good plan on how we can utilize this information that we have come up with and see the best avenue to get all these things merged on well. If you think of something that you're like, hey, why aren't you guys looking for this? It seems like this would be really important. Let us know. Any help is always welcome. This is something that we've been wanting to do for many years now. So so for every migrating library from now on, they're going to have this assessment done by the cataloging committee. So and the point is to help, that we're wanting to help not just the migrating library, but all of us that are already in Missouri Evergreen. Next, I'm going to go kind of pretty much in depth into the utility lists that we get every month. I've gotten a lot of questions about them recently. We do go over this periodically. I'd love for you to stick around. But if you feel like you know them backwards and forwards, that's what I'm going to be doing for the rest of the meeting. I do feel like you'll get valuable information other than just, going over the lists. So if you stick around. So let me. So we're all familiar with this email that we get every month. We get it on the 25th of the month. Equinox runs it for us. Before that, Mobius ran it for us. And these are lists of items that the computer is saying, hey, something's up with this. Let's look at this further. So the text up here is just a quick snapshot of what the Excel files are more in depth that are linked at the bottom. So I am going to go through these one by one, and we're going to talk about them. The only one that I am going to kind of skip over is this first one, Bibs possible electronic. So we are going to be working with Equinox soon to try to get even more of our electronic records out of there. We did do that once, but we were really conservative with that. So we're going to be working on that soon to get all of those electronic records out of there, because we're not going to have those in Missouri Evergreen anymore. And migrating libraries are not going to be able to bring in their electronic records to Missouri Evergreen. So the first one here, I decided to download all these with you and everything so you can see a little bit of my workflow as far as what's easiest to do. I do download these. So I'm going to download. I've got so many screens open right now. Okay, so this is what it comes up to. And yes, reports in Evergreen, sometimes you have to be an Excel master, but there's just a few simple things that you can do that are really going to help you. I highlight here and I double click the columns here, and then I can see everything. And then I am going to sort by this library column. So I'm going to go over, I'm going to highlight the column, sort and filter A to Z, and then you want to expand the selection. And then everything is in alphabetical order by library. Now, can you fix other libraries stuff? I mean, if the bib record's wrong, go ahead and fix it. But this is just a good starting off point. We just generally go in and you isolate your records, and then you're going to go fix them. Point of note, one bib record could be on here multiple times for every single holding that this bib record has. It'll be on this list for each library. So if you go into a bib and you're like, this looks great, look at when it was last edited. If it was last edited yesterday, then one of those other libraries that's on it probably came in and fixed it, you know. So that is a possibility. Also, there's a possibility of false positives, and we're going to talk about that in depth. So I'm going to go down to my library stuff. Let's see what I've got here. So like I said, this is a script, and all a script can do is just a computer saying, if this, then that. If this doesn't match that, then tell them this. All a computer can do is, you know, it can't read any further than what it's told to do. So for this one, these are questionable audio bibs to item. So that means something about this bib record says it's an audiobook, but the item doesn't. Or the other way around. The item says this is an audiobook, but the bib doesn't reflect that. So that's what we're looking into. So right here, you can see this first one here. Let's see. I'm going to go to this one. So this is my TCN. I'm going to highlight my TCN. And I will say, after doing this year after year, you kind of know, like, I know that all of these are on this month after month. You'll get more familiar with that. So I'm going to go to Evergreen and I'm going to look up that TCN. And this is where it's a false positive, because the icon says that it is a cassette audiobook. You can see that right here. So why did it even come up on this list? Because it is a cassette audiobook. This is a local history thing. Who has cassette audiobooks anymore? But we have this local history one. So this is a cassette. The icon matches that. Why is it even on this list? The item is on the list because nowhere in my shelving location or circ modifier does this allude to the fact that it is an audio, a cassette. If this said audiobook here, then this would not be on the list. But the computer is saying, hey, this bib says that this is an audiobook. Your item does not reflect that. So there it goes on the list automatically. So that's a false positive. This is on the list. This is exactly my shelving location and circ mod I want. I'm not changing that just because it's on this list. So that is why it shows up on this list. But I will show you one that so let's find one that, so here's some good examples. Again, we're looking at audiobook bibs to item, and here you can see that their call number is audio, but the icon is bib. So right there, we already know what's wrong. So we're going to grab this TCN. So I'm going to look at this bib record. This is one sound disc. It's actually a music disc, but the icon is book. So as we all know, what's wrong with this record? It needs an 007. It needs the 007 change so that the icon reflects that this is a audio record. Let's see. What is their call number? It's audio musical. So for this one, we're going to change this A to a J because this is music. And then I'm going to get my handy dandy copy paste document here. And I am going to go to flat text editor and I'm going to add this 007 in here. Now you can go through the wizard and do all that step by step, or you can just copy and paste it in, because every 007 for each format is going to be generally exactly the same for each bib record. So as you can see, I changed my 007, I changed my type here, and now this bib reflects that it's a CD music. So next month, this bib record will not be on the list. Let's save the changes. So is everybody following along there? You see what's going on? Okay. Let's see. We're gonna go grab another one. Let's do, so we'll do DVD because VHS and video, they're gonna be essentially the same scenario. So we'll just do one of these. So I'm gonna download this bib record, this Excel file rather. I'm bringing it over, guys. Let's see. Okay. So I'm going to highlight and double click to expand all of these. And if you have a question on, you know, which one did I open, down here in the corner, and of course the title is up here, we opened the questionable DVD bib to item file. So I'm going to highlight this column and I'm going to sort so I can get to my items. Okay, so as you can see here, I have Jefferson County Library has tons of stuff on this list. What is up with us? Well, I'll tell you what's up with this is that, let me show you one. As you can see, the icon for all of these is Blu-ray. I'm going to search this bib. Okay, so the icon is telling the computer this is Blu-ray. My item says DVD and video. Nowhere in this item does it say Blu-ray. So because we at my library, we just happen, our shelving location is videos. So the computer is just saying, hey, this says it's a Blu-ray and nowhere in this item does it refer to it as a Blu-ray. So it flagged this item. And so my whole Blu-ray collection is on this list month after month. And again, you know, you just get used to seeing that stuff month after month. But let's find one that that's audio. Okay, so we're looking at DVD here. So let's find, so this says, this call number here says DVD, but the icon is reading VHS. So let's grab this. We're going to look at this bib. So the icon here is saying VHS. The items that are attached to it, they say there's several different things, unfortunately. So this would be a case where you would need to contact the libraries and see what it really is. But it came up on their list because theirs says that it's a DVD, but the bib record is for a VHS. So if everybody's call number reflected that this was a DVD, then you would change the 007 and change it from VHS to DVD, and then your icon would be correct, and then it would not be on your list anymore. This one, again, there's several different formats on this bib record, so we need to contact the libraries and see which ones they have, and then we need to do a switcheroo and move stuff around. But that is why this one is on the list. And then, so, but the ones that are kind of more complicated are the large print ones. And this one is, these are more specific. So this file is called large print items on non-large print bibs. So with all these other ones, it was an either or case. You know, there could be something wrong with the bib, there could be something wrong with the item, either or. This one is specific. This one, this item is on a large print bib and there's something wrong with it. So we know specifically what's wrong with these. So But with the script that this uses, you do get a lot of false positives for large print because of one simple, sorry guys, gotta get my alphabet going here. Okay. So these are something in this item is saying this is a large print, but the bib record is actually just a book. So as you can see here, all of these say book, 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 book. Okay, so what about my item is making it say this is a large print? Because let's look at this one. Okay, so the bib is a book. This all looks fine. Nothing here says it's large print. Why is it on this list? Even nothing in my item says that it's large print. Why is it on this list? Because the script is looking for a certain subset of things. And it's looking for the letters LG, because that's that's how we shorten large print often. It's looking simply for those letters anywhere in this bib record together. And this last name has an LG together. My call number has an LG together. So that simple fact there flags this item and says there's something wrong with it. So any of your authors, Telgemeier is one that's really often seen on here. If there's an LG together in their last name, it's going to get flagged on this list. But there could be ones where it's a regular print bib record, but you do have a large print item on it, and the call number will say, LGF something or other, and you do have a large print on there. So that's when you would have to move it off the record. But you'll get a lot of false positives on this one simply because of that LG together. It's looking for a certain subset of things. And if the last name of an author was Largeman, it would flag that. So it's just looking for a specific set of things. And another file that's like this very often is music, because for music, it's looking for, of course, the word music. It's looking for rock, pop, folklore, it's looking for any of those keywords to flag. And a lot of times the good thing about these lists is you're able to kind of see that right off the bat. So let's see, I've got a few things on here, and these are just the things that I know are on here every month, because this DVD, the first word in the title of the DVD is musical. So it sees the word music in there somewhere. So it says, hey, is this music? Because it's on a DVD file, on a DVD bib. So, but as you can see here, these are audios. They use the word audio, it's music, but it's got a book icon. So these all need fixed. You can see right off the bat, the first thing to look at when you're looking at these files is what the icon is versus what the item actually is, because that's more often than not, that's what's wrong. The icon is saying that it's something that it's not. And so you just need to change, some fixed field usually for it to reflect the correct one. And then we're going to do the last one. We're going to do non-large print item. So this one, again, this one is one of the ones with a very specific title. The item says this is not large print, but it's on a large print bib. So something in the item is reflecting that this is large print, but nothing in the bib record I still have to say my ABCs in my head when I do this. JK. Okay, here we go. So as you can see here, the icon on all these is large print book. But so it's saying here's an item. It's on a large print book, but nothing about that item reflects that this is a large print book. So why don't you check this out? So at my library, even if it's large print, if it's a Western, we put it in Westerns. So it's a large print book, but my shelving location isn't large print. My circ mod, I don't even know if large print is a circ mod, but nothing in these reflects, or even my call number reflects that it's large print, because we just intershelve these with regular Westerns. So that's why it's on this bib record. So I know that month after month, all my Westerns are going to be on this list. But again, you can look at the bib. Holy moly, I have a whole bunch of stuff open here. Okay. You can kind of, I know that, so for my stuff, I know a lot of these are on here incorrectly, but I see, I haven't looked at this one yet. And I do see here that, well, our teen large print, we don't mark that as large print. It's just interfiled in with our large print. So all of my TF stuff is on here. So that's why these things get put on these lists. Most often it's because the icon doesn't match the item, or the item doesn't match the icon. All right, everybody. Questions? Okay. Our next meeting is July 12th. I'm assuming that that's going to be an okay meeting date with the holiday and everything. If Nate needs to change it, he will let us know. One last call for questions before I go. Let me look at the chat here. Sorry. Yeah, we've got some, Chris says her launch pads are in the large print because, simply because her call number is LPAD. So that LP is on there together. So every month she knows that all those launch pads are going to be on that list. And she just, she knows to just go right over those and find something that is legit to check. All right, guys. Next month, you'll be hearing from Nate. So I'll always be there. So I'll see you guys then. Thanks, everyone.
Thanks, Kate.
Thank you.
Thanks, Kaylee. I'm glad you were able to come.
Me too.
If you have any more questions, if that didn't help, let me know and I can walk you through it even more.
All right, great. Thank you, Kate.
You're welcome.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.